Hello and welcome back to Elden Ring. Today we are going to have a look at Dominula Windmill Village from a level design and world design perspective. And just because Dominula is just a very small level doesn't mean that I can't make a video on it, right? So let's have a look at Dominula, and I have to say the word a little bit more often than name, otherwise I will forget it. And the first thing that I think we all notice now visually is that it's becoming foggy. I started the video without fog and now all of a sudden it became foggy. Let's see if we can reverse it by going back to the road. Maybe it takes a while. Yeah? The yellow hue and the nice yellow sky is coming back. So this isn't a bug, this is intentional, although I'm not really a fan of fog. Look how it changes very rapidly. So this is clearly part of the village here. I don't think it has to do something with the elevation, because I'm fairly sure when we went to the highway lookout tower in the previous video, then there was no fog at all. So the fog is part of the village, and it makes it a little bit more mysterious, right? And I think it serves another purpose, but we will talk about that later on as well. So Dominula, right? Yeah, Dominula. As I said, I need to say the word more often, otherwise I will forget the name. Is creepy. I think that is the first thing that comes to mind. This village is creepy, and it's not because of the crosses here. They actually look quite beautiful with the pink flowers and other plants wrapped around it. And oh, it is creepy because of these dancing women here. And I think, yeah, I already talked about the hags here in the last video, but I will, of course, for the sakes of this video, talk about them again. I think they use a similar model to the... what are they called? Excuse me. From Bloodborne, the enemy type in the Hemwick Charnel Lane. There was an enemy type also, like a hag, with different weaponry. And I think they're borrowing some of their moveset here. I'm currently not attacking them, and they are not attacking me, but once you aggro them, then everyone in the vicinity will try and kill you. But why are they dancing, right? Like, why? Is it some sort of sickness, or has it to do with them being immortal, I guess? And, well, let's find out, shall we? There's a rune arc in here, a dead person. Nothing special so far. There are a lot of dead people in Elden Ring, I think. There's some bones, nothing we haven't seen before in previous areas, even without the hags. Let's see if there are any dead bodies here that tell, well, the secrets of the Windmill Village. But I think there is no real item here to find, right? No. But up ahead is something sinister here. I'm not sure if they will trigger once I'm getting close because of cheat engine, but I don't want to risk it, because how does it look to you here? For me, this looks like there's a dead person, a dead hag, and this one is mourning. I was crying. But that's not at all the case, because in fact this one is actually laughing. I think. Hard to see. Could have been just a model, right? Like, because they don't want to model their faces extra, but... And this one is clearly alive as well. Like, when I punch her, she attacks. When I punch this one, she attacks as well. So this is just an ambush. What is so strange about them, I think, is the sounds they're making. Because, maybe I crank up the sound a little bit here. Should be the sound effects, right? They sound really different in their attacking form. And yes, they still have this weird blood attack, which is... The blood attack is almost... is very strange to me. It almost doesn't fit the character, in my opinion. Almost. Let's quickly get rid of them. First of all, their sound effects. Like... I might be wrong, but it feels to me like they're reusing specific sounds from previous games. I might be wrong there. But these feel more like zombie-ish sounds, like hollow sounds, if you get me. Like from previous games then. Because if you... I mean, you can hear them laughing. They completely... They sound completely different in their happy dancing form. Right. But oh well, maybe I would sound different too if I had to fight tooth and nail with a tarnished. But if we have a look at the weaponry... no, first the blood attack, right? They're biting into their arm and then they're spitting out a blood cloud. And it kind of feels out of place here, really. I would... how do I say it? I would connect this attack more with the followers of Moog. And these are not followers of Moog. They are working together with a different entity that we will find further up in the village itself. But now to the weaponry. I happen to have the weapons of their choice in my inventory. And... these are called celebrants, the ladies here. I think it's clearly why they're called it. They're clearly celebrating something. Let's quickly equip all of their weapons. At least some of their weapons, maybe not all of them. I think there is an axe. There we go, the celebrant's cleaver. And then we also have a hammer of some sort, like two-handed blunt weapon. There we go, a celebrant's skull. And we're getting closer to the truth here. And I think the last one is a spear of some sort, right? Forgive me if I'm missing a weapon here, but I think these are all it, right? Where is the spear? There, the celebrant's rib rake. Sounds quite gruesome, and it is. Let's have a look with probably the most harmless... I can't get rid of the weapon in my offhand. Let's have a look at the most harmless weapon first, the sickle. Where is it? Celebrant's sickle. Let's read the item description. Sickle decorated with flowers and many colored fabrics. Ceremonial tool used by dancers during the festives of Dominula. Its attacks can slip through an enemy's guard, and that's because the blade is curved. They always like to do armor breaking or shield... what's it called? Going through shield attacks with curved weapons like these. And then crafted from human bone. Ooh, grants trace amounts of runes on landing attacks. So if you hit someone with this, you're getting a very small amount of runes. But the important part is that this is made out of human bones. If we have a look at the celebrant's cleaver, decorated with many colored fabrics, ceremonial tool used by dancers during the festives of Dominula, Windmill Village, crafted from human bone. I wonder what bone this is, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but if we have a look at the cleaver, where does the human have this big of a bone? Like, this looks more like a sharpened and modified troll bone to me, but oh well, I guess there are big humans in this game as well, so. Then if we have a look at the sediment skull, it basically says the same thing. Plus, the striking end is a skull, too large in size to be human. Oh. Whoops. No, that's the wrong button combination. Where is it? I want to wheel it in two hands. Here we go. So it's not a human skull this time. But it might be a human skull, because they're clearly bigger humans here. If you remember for example, the battle mages, they're quite tall, and I think the skull is still too big for them, but they're definitely bigger human beings in this game, or human-like beings that are quite big. And now the celebrant's rib rake. Same description as the other weapons, except the skull thingy, yeah, crafted from human bones. But this is the possibly most gruesome one, because it's literally a rib cage. So they're definitely killing humans. I think it's to this point unclear if these are cannibals, but this might be the first guess, right? If you just see this and you gain access to their weaponry by killing them, maybe you get a drop or two, and then they're using tools made out of human bones and something that is slightly bigger than a human, then I think it's not too far to think that these are, in fact, cannibals. And they're doing some weird dance here. But this is all world design so far, right? This is all lore, more likely. We also have some human skulls lying around here. Very nice. But let's talk about world design in a sense of the buildings. Let's have a look at the buildings. That's what I mean. Because the buildings in the village, and I think we have the best view from down there. We can really see the scale or the height difference, because it's, well, a nice looking village, right? From the first look. I still have problems with some of these buildings, but overall these buildings these buildings look much better than previous village-like buildings, because they're still using the same assets, right? They're still using the same building. I think this building we've already seen in what's it called? In the Frenzied Flame village. They're reusing assets, which is completely fine, and I'm talking to this ghost later on. So, but what makes this, in my opinion, better than the other village is that we have combinations of houses. Like this, for example, we have a much bigger house, and I'm happy that it's much bigger, because have a look at this one over there. This one looks way too small, right? I think it's supposed to be a two-story building, or at least it has an attic, right? Why else would you have like windows here at the roof? You're not even getting to the roof, right? So it must have an attic of some sort. And it kind of feels like it feels too small, right? Why does it have these two barricaded parts to it? You already have a door over here. Or maybe was this just... This is clearly not repaired, right? Like you have this arch made out of stone, like the stone arch, so there were definitely two openings here. Why would you have two openings over here plus a door on this side? This is way too small, like... So it looks nice and quirky from the outside, but it lets me think that it's not really there, like... It doesn't look like a place you can live in, right? And this is what I am always talking about in these videos. I really would like to see the interior of these buildings so that I don't have to imagine things, right? Because right now I'm imagining that this house would be way too small. But if you're showing me from the inside, no, it's not too small, you can actually live in there. We have a two-story building here. Maybe you can sleep in the attic with some hay or straw or whatever beds they're using here. And downstairs you maybe have a kitchen. Maybe you don't want to have a fire in here, but maybe you do. I don't know. Show it to me, please. Like, my imagination says this is just here to look nice from the outside. On the other hand, one of these buildings, like these bigger buildings, they look more believable to me. Because, well, yes, you have the entrance here. You have some barrels, maybe another very small two-story building. Maybe you have an attic room here, or you need to duck every time you're going in there. But then you have this big part, this big building on the side of it. And yes, I think it's fairly clear that it's just two building models slammed into each other. But that doesn't matter, it looks good anyways, right? Even though there might be some clipping if you're looking really, really close, but that's fine. If you have to slam together two buildings, that's fine. It looks more believable to me, right? And maybe I'm the only one, but let me know if you think the same way, or maybe you haven't thought the same way, but now that I'm saying it, maybe you can't unsee it. I'm sorry for that, but that's just how I work, basically. I really would like to see beautiful things and awesome things that also make sense, right? That also make some sort of sense. And yes, maybe you don't need to own a building that makes sense if you're one of these cannibalistic, weird dancing Dominula hags, but I would like to have a building where I can live in. And now that I think of it, the other weird thing about this village is that these are all women. There is no man here, so a few more red flags, right? The human bones, no man here, the weird dancing. Reminds me of the story, I can't remember, it was ages ago, like, maybe you've seen the video of Salmonella Academy where he talked about some weird stuff. Well, he only really talks about weird stuff, but the dance sickness or whatever it's called, I can't really remember, where someone started to dance and they couldn't stop, and then more people chimed in and started to dance violently as well. Kind of reminds me of that, like like a dance sickness right here. And I don't think it's very far to think that it's that they borrowed some aspects of that story. Even in Bloodborne they had the dancing witches in the Hemwick Channel Lane. Let's see what we have over here, because here we have a dog, another dog. So they have dogs. What is this one doing? Oh. Well, I think... yeah, by now I think it's fairly clear that these are also cannibals. She is licking possibly the blood of the cleaver, and in front of her there is a dead body. And I want to say this again. Look at the body, right? This is weird to me. Same model with the elongated legs and the elongated arms. And I have to say it again. Maybe some of you have some sort of video or really good, what's it called, arguments for it not to be an albinoric, but I really... either they're just lazy and reuse the same model over and over again, but for me this is an albinoric. Like, I talked about it in the last video, right? And yes, the weird thing is about if this would have been an albinoric, that the legs are not fading, but they basically use the same model, right? And this is supposed to be one of these commoners, right? With the simple garb. Let's have a look, maybe. From the neck depicts sprawling tree, its roots and branches forming two holes. This is a self-imposed shackle and voluntary display of allegiance to the earth tree and increases faith. And I think this doesn't... like... I need to make a video about these commoners, because to me they kind of feel like albinorics, but it's completely fine if they're not. They're just using a similar model. Yes, someone said already in the video, or in the comments of a video, that they don't think that these are albinorics, might be just transformed humans due to the immortality. And yes, this might be completely true, but the thing that I always think of, right, is From Software isn't really careless if they're placing certain things, right? And I don't really believe, after seeing this in the, what's it called, in the Village of the Albinoric video that I've made, I've seen a lot of corpses lying on the ground, of course, because there was a massacre. Sir Gideon ordered his men to kill that village, everyone in that village, but it's the Village of Albinorics, and they used the same model for the dead body, basically the model of the commoners. So for me that's now the canon, and it might be completely wrong, and that's fine. That is completely fine with me, but let's get on with this video here, because I think I've talked about most of the stuff that is going on here, but there is still more to uncover. And I must say, from an aesthetic point of view, aesthetic point of view, I think it's called, is I really like this village. Like, I really like the design of this village. The level itself is not as complex, it's just one path basically, one staircase with houses on the sides. But I really like the verticality that is displayed here. I really like that you have to go up, and I really would like to have a similar village nearby where I can visit, right, as a tourist maybe. Like I would really like to see something that is built similar as this. I really like verticality in with villages, because you can do so many cool things, right? I really like the fact then that some of these houses are basically on cliffs, right? Like this, for example. Yeah, like this house. I really like this wooden balcony that goes that goes around the building itself. Although this is probably fairly dangerous, like with the loose boards here and there. Like this might be very dangerous, and I think in real life I would have already fallen down. Oh, ambushing hag. But now let's find the secret of this village, because here we have a stake of Marika and we have a summoning pool, which is something like, why would you need these things here, right? Like, these are just hags, they're not as difficult to beat. They're like 2-shot. And you can, I think, can you still stagger them? Or is it not? Yo, you can still stagger them. I really like this. I think they implemented this in Bloodborne. Was it Bloodborne? I think they did it first in Bloodborne, and then they also implemented it in Dark Souls 3. Bloodborne was before Dark Souls 3, right? I think so, yeah. Where you can stagger enemies when you roll into them, and you could do it with the Yarnamites, also with the hags in Bloodborne, and you could do it with the common folk in Dark Souls 3 as well, in the settlement. What was it called? I don't really remember. And you can do it here as well with some types of enemies, which is nice, which is a nice feature, I must say. But here's another interesting thing, because we're getting close to the secret, basically. This one is praying, and not to the Earth Tree. You can't even see the Earth Tree from here, which is also very odd. You can't even see the Earth Tree because of the fog. You can see this white thing. Oh, this is one of these standards, these spectral standards that is just glowing. For a second I just thought this looked like a weird glitchy thing, and it looks a little bit glitchy here if you look at it. Like, I think it's supposed to be more obscured, but you can't even really see the Earth Tree around. You can see the minor Earth Tree almost, but the Earth Tree is gone. Where am I supposed to look at? Where is the Earth Tree? The fog is very strong, but why I think the fog is also important. Now that I think of it, I wanted to talk about the fog later on, and I will still talk about the fog later on, because there is another important feature the fog is doing, but I guess obscuring the Earth Tree is another interesting feature of the fog here. One that I haven't thought about. But now let's uncover the secret, and there it is. There is the secret. We have a Godskin Apostle here. And look how big this one is, like, holy hell. I haven't really looked at the Godskin Apostles, because usually I had to fight them. But they are very mysterious. Like, first of all, what are they? What race is this? Are these still humans? Are they a completely different race? Are these Albinorics? Or artificial humans? Maybe another type of Albinoric. what is clear is that their limbs are white. Like, their skin is white, their arms are white, like, they're completely white. And they're wearing skin of other people. I mean, they're called god skin. Like, these are the skins of powerful beings, like, and they're just wearing them. Here we can see a face on the back, and maybe some belly to that, and he's also wearing a face on the head. And I don't know if it's just me, but have you played what's it called? XCOM 2 is what I wanted to say. And they have these shapeshifters in this game, like fleshy, fatty, shape-shifting dudes with two claws, like humanoid, but they kind of look like the robes here, like with the overlapping skin flaps and all of that. They kind of remind me of that. Minus the golden and the thingy in the middle. Maybe these are... I think the fat one, the noble, the godskin noble, has a tail even. So they might have some common features with the snake people from Volcano Manor. And you can find godskins in the Volcano Manor. There's the fat one, the godskin noble, as a boss there, as a mini boss there. So the Windmill Village is working together with the Apostle. I think the women are killing the people and taking their bones and eating their flesh, possibly. And the godskin is peeling off the skin and transforms it into armor, or maybe they put it on themselves so that they're getting longer. Because this one has some acrobatic features to them. They can elongate their bodies and their necks and their arms and stuff. Like a giraffe. Like, they have a neck like a giraffe, basically, with one of their spinning attacks. Very wild. And on top of that, they're using black flame attacks. If we have a look at some black flame incantations, let's see. Here, a black flame incantation of the Godskin Apostles, and indeed they're using, or the black flame is one of their attacks. They're also using, what is it called? The Ash of War of their Godskin Peeler. What is it called, actually? Do I have it here? Ah, yes, that's the weird thing. It is still under fire, because it's still fire damage, but the icon is still red. Like, I kind of wish there was black fire as an option here. But they're using Black Flame Tornado, and they are using the... Where is it? Black Flame, just the fireball thingy. And without getting into the lore very deep, because I think it has to do something with the Glowmite Queen, right? Something. Yes, I've watched some lore videos to that, otherwise I would have been lost. I'm not reading that many... I'm not remembering that many item descriptions. I'm reading a lot of them, but, well, I'm forgetting stuff here and there, so... And I kind of wish we would get the next DLC with the Glowmite Queen in it. Because some theories say it's, what's her name? Melina. Might be true, might not be true, who knows? I don't think it's confirmed, like hard confirmed, but there's some good, what's it called? Some good arguments for it. And I would really like to have it this way, but I have no idea. Yeah, we have a godskin here, and this is the secret of Dominula. This is basically what's going on. They might not be literal godskin, the people here, like the women folk. They might not be godskins themselves, but they're clearly working together with some godskin, at least with one godskin apostle. And I haven't talked about the ghost yet. But alright, at this spot over here, you can. This is one of the painting areas over here. Let's see if I have. I shouldn't have the painting. Otherwise, I would have seen the ghost thingy there appear, right? So. But correct me if I'm wrong. Is it fire's deadly sin that we are getting here? I might be wrong with that, but I think this is where you get it here, because I'm not really sure right now, and I don't want to look it up. I'm not talking about it right here, but I wanted to talk about the fog now. The purpose of the fog here. First of all, it makes it a little bit more scary. It lets it. It makes it a little bit more isolated. This place, with the fog, it feels more isolated, or it feels isolated, especially from the Earth tree. You can't even see it from here, really. The glow isn't reaching through here. You can see some faint branches of the Earth tree up there, but the glow isn't even reaching here, so. And I think the other purpose is that you're not able to look past this cliff. And I don't know if you've noticed, but you can't really, even from Volcano Manor, you can't really see the area that is down here. Like, usually you would just see water, right? But you literally can't see anything. Like, it's completely fogged up, and I think when you're at the Shaded Castle, it has like a green hue maybe, and from the volcano itself it has a different hue, something maybe, I might be wrong there, but you can't really see what's going on here, and I don't know, maybe this could also be a, possibly not, probably not the case, but this could have been a DLC area. It's very unlikely, but I think currently the best or the most logical area for a DLC would have been in the middle here, like in the middle of the world, basically, in the middle of the lands between. Nothing special up here, but I don't know. I would like to see maybe different DLCs, maybe something that's up here. I don't know, but well, yes, we are basically through the Windmill Village. So I haven't talked about the level design that much because there is really not much to talk about here. We have like two different types of enemies. We have dogs and we have the ladies, and then we have the Godskin Apostle boss fight here. And you can cheese him because, well, it's an open world boss. You can cheese every open world boss. But that's it, I think. I don't want to rate things anymore because, first of all, the rating is inconsistent, and rating thing is, it doesn't feel correct. Like, the one day I have a different opinion than in the other day. Like, it's changing always. So yeah, I think, where's the pose? I wanna sit down now. Well, yeah, I think I've talked about everything that I could think about, so let me know what you think about this area. Maybe you have some theories why they would work together, the Godskin noble, or apostle in this case, the Godskins and these witches here, and that's it from me. Goodbye.